Okay, I think we're live. Hello world. Hello world. Um, yeah. So I might have taken a little bit too long in the shower. So apologies for being late to being late to being late. This is day 135 of studying compilers every day until I land a compiler role. I think this is like a little bit over 4 months now, actually, now that I think about it, which is a little bit insane, but I guess it's kind of just life. Last time we did a little bit more debugging with interference, and we cleaned up a little bit of print stuff, I believe. This time, I think there's like two things left on the docket before I can kind of consider myself quote unquote done with interference. The first one is to figure out this whole group by function thing. So currently my backend IR is just one big slush pile, and that makes things a little bit awkward later on, and it also just like generally makes a mess. So I would like to avoid that if at all possible. But that I think I'll push off to next time, because I want to keep today's stream a little bit short so I have time to like do laundry and hopefully fix my sleep schedule. This time what I want to work on is fixing interference proper. Right now our add edge does not interfere with all of the like different sized physical registers. So like if something interferes with RAX, it doesn't interfere with EAX either, which will cause some problems here and there. So I'd like to avoid that. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the plan for today. I think there was also another bug somewhere that I needed to worry about. Yeah, so if we run this, it crashes. So I would like to get that fixed as well. I think those two will be a pretty good place for today's goals at least. So I guess let's get straight into it before it magically turns 11 o'clock and I run out of time to do anything. Yeah, so I guess let's run this with Valgrind again. Or does this run fine with O0? Yeah, it runs fine with O0. So then what happens if we give it passes mem2reg? Is it specifically mem2reg that causes it? Yes, it is mem2reg that causes this. I wonder why. Yeah, that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. We're failing at the print. Wait, why is it failing in the print? That's like the one place it shouldn't fail. Okay, well, let's give it a look. So is that? Wait, what? Okay. So this line. That's strange. It's the bracket operator. Where is the bracket operator? At line 74. Okay, let's just rebuild it, just in case. Here. So index to reg does not have it. That's interesting. So that means R is larger than this, at least, which is interesting. Where is this happening? Yeah, that seems strange. I'm not sure how that's happening. Maybe we're not making like one-to-one additions up here. So we do add registers. We 100% add all the physical registers here, right? Let's look at the registers we have at least. Yeah, we have all the 64-bit, all the 32-bit. I don't think any of those are the problem. Yeah, so we literally do add all of them. And then we add edges. So that should be fine. That looked fine the last time I looked at it. Out and gen look fine. This should be fine. I guess here we need to add edges between everything, right? I guess add edge just needs to account for 64 and 32-bit, right? I think that's all that we really need to do. Yeah, that's really annoying actually. I guess we could just deduplicate this and then we could just leave this at like the 64-bit version. We can just update this at least. So we could just make this really annoying, which, I mean, I guess it is what it is. We kind of have to do that like down here anyway, so I think this is fine. Okay, so let's figure out what to do with this. So I guess auto first reg equals first, and then we get reg num, and then we can do this with second. And then we just add register, or I guess if first reg, what is the best way to write this? So if it is register num, what's my bind for this again? I need to get better at using autocomplete, I feel like. Virtual. So if it's virtual, then we can just add this. Otherwise, we need to make a mess. Actually, we could just throw this all into add register, to be honest. Yeah, I kind of like that idea more, now that I think about it. Yeah, let's do that instead. Let's figure out what to do with that. Okay. So auto reg num. So let's get reg num. What's wrong with this? Oh, this needs to be big R. So this is, if this equals lir register num virtual, then I can kind of just leave that, I think. Yeah, we can do that. Else, I guess. Let's add braces, so the scope is a little bit easier to work with. Okay, and then here we want, so we want 64. Let's just steal the stuff from down here, I think. But we need to, I guess we kind of just need to steal the 32-bit version. So reg, I can do reg like 32 is this. Instead of reg, this is reg num. And then we can do the same with reg 32 here. Reg 32. And then we throw this up here again with 64. Instead of double word, it's quad word. Yeah, and then we make this 64 as well, and then everything cleans itself up nicely. I really don't like this sort of indent thing that happens here when I have too long of lines, so maybe I kind of want to shorten this in some way. I guess we could do reg num 64, or no, we should keep this reg 64. Let's make auto reg num 64 up here. And then we can just steal that. And then we can make that reg num 64 like that. And that's a little bit prettier, I'm fairly sure. And then we can do something similar here. Yeah, so we can copy that. And do this. While I'm typing with this boilerplate, I have a question for y'all. So recently, I think it's pretty obvious that my streams have gotten a little bit shorter. Some of this is due to school, but most of it is just because of my sleep schedule. Regardless, it's just kind of like a less conscious decision, but I found I've kind of enjoyed these sort of shorter streams a little bit more. I'm curious what y'all think about the duration of them. Like, do y'all enjoy the like long 1 to 3 hour streams more, or do you prefer the like sub 1 hour streams that I've been doing recently? This probably won't like impact my decision a lot in terms of like what happens, because it's all just like very pragmatically chosen, but I'm still just like a little bit curious at least. A little bit curious what y'all think. Yeah, okay. This should be a good enough boilerplate code, I think. So that should just like literally add every possible size combination there. And then we need to deal with it in here as well, which is really awkward. Yeah, that's actually really awful. I hate that. Okay, we might just like... we might make this just return like a list or something. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't like the idea of temporaries, so we'll see how that works out, but yeah. So I guess this also means we can sidestep like this slush here as well. Yeah, we can get rid of that, and we can get rid of that, I think. Actually, maybe we do need to keep that. This is probably cleaner without sticking all this in here, because it's just like, yeah, I'm actually gonna revert this slush. We will leave this checking in here, I think. I guess, I like the utility of this to clean up this code a little bit, but I don't really like how duplicative it is. Okay, I guess we should probably just make another helper then. So we have like add register, and then we could also do like add all register. And that might help with this maybe. I think I will steal that. And then let's undo everything there. And then let's paste that back in and rename it add all register. And I think that will make things a little bit less awful, I feel like. I guess we could do like get all register. What's good, Sam? Good to see you. This is really annoying to design, actually. I think I've messed up in some capacity. Maybe we could do like reg2 indices. New subscriber was live about. So I'm writing a compiler from C to x86-64. Right now, the part that I'm working on has to do with turning variables into like the registers that exist on a CPU. Because we only have so many registers, but we can have practically infinite variables. So we need to reduce it down somehow. Let's go to the Epic Man. I hate all these changes. This has not worked out very well. Let's refresh that. Eric, you'll do it? Thank you. That means a lot to me. Okay. I think usually when the problem is going south, or when I'm like struggling to figure out a good solution, that means my data structure is wrong somewhere. What we could do actually, we could map the different physical registers to the same index? Yeah, we could do that, I think. But then how do we reconstruct the size from the stuff? I guess we have it encoded in the instruction, right? So that would probably solve that. Let's look at my instructions that I have at least. I guess that might make it easier to determine. Label doesn't have registers. Move has sizes, so that's fine. Push has a size, so that's fine. Pop has a size, so that's fine. Convert has sizes, but I think that's really annoying actually. I guess those are strictly sizes, so I don't think that's much of a problem. Add you on LinkedIn. Thank you. I don't think I've checked LinkedIn in a second, but I will get to it once I remember to at least. Okay, these might have registers, but these have sizes, so I think that one is mostly fine. Special op, I believe also has a size. Yeah. I don't know. This is getting very complex very quickly. Okay, we could do like add all size or like add sized registers maybe. Yeah, I think we could do that, and then what do we even do with add edge then? I guess the data structure thing is like interesting, but I feel like I lose too much information at a glance, so I don't really want to do it that way. I think we will kind of have to just stick with the data structure. I'm happy I thought about it though, at least, because I think that makes this a little bit easier to figure out. Yeah. We could just do like add edges, I think, and that will make things easier. I think this sort of add register thing is fine. I think we should do like add edges though. Yeah, so I think that also makes this a little bit less awful. Or we could separate out this add register stuff here, and we could just throw it down here. Yeah, I kind of like that idea a little bit more. Yeah, let's do it that way. So add register genreg, and then pre-genreg should already be in there. unless the iterator is non-deterministic. Let's look this up actually, or at least not in the same order. Unordered map iterator. Okay. Okay, let's, if I have an iterator through an unordered map in C++, and I iterate through it again without changing the unordered map, is it the same order? It's not, okay. I guess that's fair, okay. Okay, so we should probably do this in a different way. I feel like this is not safe. What is Gen I again? This is unordered set. We could probably just make a temporary like list buffer. How to reach that level of coding? Just do a lot of it, honestly. Write a lot of code, write a lot of bad code, learn why the code is bad. That's kind of just what you need to do, unfortunately. Okay, let's. I guess we could just make vectors out of these. I really don't like doing that, but I think that's the most stable way to do this, at least. Yeah, because gen is like a vector of set. Best resource to practice on, just whatever personal project you want to work on. I don't think there's like any like best there. I just think like something that you will work on a lot is the most effective. Using LazyVim? No, I am using my personal NeoVim config. It should be linked in the description, but it's completely from scratch. Okay, we might have to change register set to like a vec or something like that. So that means we need to redesign liveness a little bit, which unfortunately means this. Unfortunately for me and my scheduling, means the stream will not be short. But luckily, I guess this means that I will have a little bit less misery. Yeah. So let's actually. I think we could get rid of this thing, to be honest. And then we could let's find and replace. Replace that with std vector of lar register star. Yeah. This is like awful, but it is what it is. Let's go, Useless. Good to see you. I imagine your username is, in fact, not accurate. Okay, let's rename this to register list, maybe, or register vector, and then let's make this a std vector of register. We should probably keep unordered set in some capacity, but yeah, because I would like these to be vectors just for like general iteration sanity, but I don't think creating these as sets is inherently bad. Yeah, maybe I'll do like ordered set in some way. I don't really think there's a great way to order them, so I will probably just sort once when returning. Okay, let's make a quick macro here. Find vector, change word, unordered set, next line 0. So now I can select these, :norm at w to run the macro, and there we go. What is wrong with this? Oh, that's really annoying. Or actually no, I did this wrong. 0. Let's change this from register vector stood unordered set of LR register star. And that should be good. Let's do the same thing there. Okay, everything is good now. Nothing is wrong. Mic sounds a wee bit low. I mean, I don't really know what I can do about that unless I'm just like talking in this direction. Maybe I will just move my mic then. I don't know. It's already the gain. Oh boy. The gain is already turned up a lot, so yeah, I can't really do a lot about it, unfortunately. I will try to move my mic closer, and hopefully that's better for next time, but yeah. I don't think I will do a lot about it today, at least. Actually, what if I did? Okay, give me a second. I'll adjust the mic. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Oh, that is loud. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Is this audio sufficient? Let me know if it's like too loud. Oh, this is quite close to me. Yeah, I think this is about the same. Maybe I'm just talking into the mic a little bit more from this angle. So if it's better, let me know. If it's worse, also let me know. Maybe I'm peaking a little as well. Good? Okay, cool. If anyone says too loud, that would be really funny, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay. So yeah, where was I? Oh god, the cabling is awful on this. Okay, I'll figure that out next time. Actually, this is good enough. Okay, okay, so let's see. I was changing these to vectors, that's what I was doing. Okay, I imagine the keyboard's also a little bit louder. Not quick at half volume. I don't know. I think historically my audio has just been a little bit quiet. Because I'm like looking in this awkward direction and my mic is like in this direction. So, what if I just pull this over? Okay, this is fine. This will do. What's the general? What's the setup? It is very messy. So I'm hesitant to show it on camera, but it turns out this standing desk is really struggling to hold the weight of everything. So, unlucky, I guess. Also, what's good, Niraj? I don't think I have BRB'd in a while. I think the last time I did it was for like laundry or something. Okay. So I guess, I don't think we need to change a lot else here in the data structures. I think this is mostly fine. So these, and then we don't really care about successors for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I guess we do, but I don't know where we use this. Yeah, this doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it is what it is. Okay, I think now with this we can kind of rewrite most of this. Oh boy. Too many errors, great. Okay, let's do a quick find replace. Vector. Let's do that replace. Oh, there's a lot of changes here. Okay. Jen is still a vector, I think, right? Okay. We do need to preserve some things here, I think. I guess my coughs are in full volume now. Okay, this using type is actually causing a lot of trouble. Let's replace this with std vector of LR register star. Yeah, this is very verbose, but it should be a little bit more readable, arguably. Enjoyed the 12 minutes here, love the grind. Well, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, have a good one. Currently working on the renderer for the Maze Runner. Ooh, that seems fun. I do not know a lot about rendering, but yeah. Okay, we need to change some of these to unordered set. We need to change that one, yeah, and then we need to change this one, and then this last one. There we go. So that should fix a lot of the things. Yeah, let's keep changing these. This is still unordered set. Things like we're setting in 2 to 3 sentences. Oh boy. I can't really do it in 2 to 3 sentences, but I will do my best here. So I'm working on pieces of software called compilers. They are programs that translate from one programming language to another. Right now I'm working on a compiler from the C programming language down to x86 64 assembly. The part I'm working on specifically right now is the part that turns variables into into like the registers on a CPU, because we can make a lot of variables, it turns out, but we can't really make a whole lot of or we can make infinite variables pretty much, but we only have so many registers to work with before things get really slow. Really expensive and really slow, specifically. Okay, how do I do this? This is very awful. So we have Gen, we've killed. This should be fine. What is in again? This is vector of set. Yeah, and that makes it easier to work with at this level. Is stack resizable? Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm not really sure yet. I need to figure that out, but for now I think we will just keep it at a certain size and call it a day. We'll just I think what we will do is we will just have a fixed size stack and call it a day, because we don't really, I don't think we really need to dynamically allocate memory for the most part here. I think that also just adds a level of complexity that I do not know how to implement yet. What is new in? These are unordered set. Okay, we need to fix these. Which is fine, but it's annoying to fix. Okay, let's just make a new vector. I think this is like very awful, but it is what it is. I guess sorted gen, and then we want, what else do we want out of this? How do we even sort this? I guess we just do string comparisons? That really sucks. But I guess that's the least awful way to do it, right? We could sort by the enum. That doesn't work. Yeah, I like a better way to sort this, but it is what it is. Okay, we'll just leave this as a to-do. For now, right now, we'll just turn it into vector. Yeah, we'll just do that. So we have sorted gen. I guess we could just make this res generically, I think. I guess. What do we call this? I guess vector gen, or gen vectors. Yeah, let's do that. For auto set in, I guess, gen set in gen. Is compiling assembly something faster than something like C++ or Rust? I mean, there's not really compiling with assembly at that point, I feel like. I think like at that point it's kind of just linking, no? Or assembling and linking at that point. So like you would have a 0-second compilation time, which I guess is probably faster just by default. So like yes, technically yes, but I don't really think it's meaningful. Assembling with assembly? I see. I mean, like, yeah, you're technically correct, but that's, I feel like that's kind of like stating the obvious. Like, if I have to go to the store to like, buy eggs or something, it'd obviously be faster if I was already at the store. So, I don't know. Maybe that's just me being like pedantic, but. What's the first data structure algorithm needed for the first assembly compiler implementation? I wouldn't even know, honestly. I think, yeah, I guess it would probably be bottom up. So it'd kind of just be like macro expansion for the most part. So like you'd probably need some sort of a dynamic array. I think that's kind of the first thing that comes to mind at least. Okay, so we want to push back the set. So I guess let's just do like, yeah, let's do that. We want gen vectors, push back, vector. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't really know a lot about the history of compilers. I feel like I should know more because it's just really cool anyway, so I'd want to learn more, but yeah. That's kind of just reality. Respect the people doing compilers in the early days. Yeah. Or just anyone doing like cutting edge work, I think is pretty reasonable. Okay, which constructor do we want? We want gen, set, begin, gen, set, end, I think. Yeah, we can do that. And then we can just copy paste this boilerplate down, I think. And so this is kill, kill, kill. And then here we want, I should have just done a rename. This is a little bit troll. Okay, let's copy this again. This will be a little bit more of the same thing. Okay, this is in. Actually, let's make these lists. Kill list, kill set. That's funny. In E, one guy created. Yeah, just everyone doing this stuff at first is just like really crazy to think about. What'd you do to get split screen on Vim? It's just splitting buffer. So I think, does this work? Yeah. Vertical? Or there's, I don't remember the long version of it, but I just do :vs and that splits. Yeah, I actually don't need the split there, to be honest, now that I think about it. Okay, let's do more renaming. Yeah, that's good. Instead of kill here, we want in, presumably. As if early compiler people are discovering alien tech, yeah. Even just like creating alien tech, I'd argue. Yeah, let's make this. Out. Short streams is better? Okay, cool. Okay, I guess I feel a little bit less bad about this then. Like if a lot of people were like, I enjoy the 2-hour streams, then like I feel like I would have had a different opinion, but I guess that's like a little bit reassuring. It appears this stream is already turned a little bit long though, so oops. Okay. You should make a script type to split as many times as possible until PC crashes. What if I didn't though? It sounds a lot more appealing to me if I didn't do that. Because I prefer my stuff working, contrary to popular belief. Poll. Oh, you're so right. Okay, wait. Start a poll. Shorter, less than 1 hour. longer. 1 to... there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think that's all of the changes I need there. I will need to rewrite a lot of other stuff to support this, obviously. It doesn't look like interference changes a lot here, because we kind of just like for each through it, which is nice. Someone is making toast. I think that's one of my neighbors. I don't think this needs to change a lot. It didn't look like anything was wrong with it. And then driver, I think, is still fine right now, because... yeah. Okay. Okay, someone's toast is definitely burning. My stove is definitely not on, so that's definitely someone else's problem. Okay, so we need to... I think this is safe now, at least. Let's see if it at least runs all the tests. Okay, it seems like a lot of people really like the longer streams. That's pretty funny. Okay, well, I'll try to get back to like original durations then probably. Let's see if Valgrind does what we want it to here. That looks fine. Maybe 01. Maybe that'll cause the problem. Actually, no, that was the same thing as this. Okay. Macro in this pragma is being placed in the language itself. What do you mean by that? Like, as a part of the spec, or like? Because I don't think pragma is technically spec, right? Is pragma in the Bible? Okay, anyway. Oh, it is. Compiler specific. Okay, yeah. So it's technically not like standard, I believe. Yeah, like Pragma once, for instance, instead of using like the header guards and header files, Pragma once is like widely supported as like an alternative, but it's like technically not standard. Yeah. And then I think like Pack is another like pretty interesting one. Is macro an extension or part of the language? I think like macros themselves are technically part of the language though. See macros spec. Yeah, they're a part of the preprocessor. Oh, holy full blind. Let's make that dark again. Macros, yeah. So this is like technically defined somewhere as, I guess, like a subset of the language. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyways, let's commit some stuff. Let's add liveness. Make liveness a vector, not a set. Okay. So we need to clean this up now. Yeah, so now since this is a list of register, or I guess a vector, this will be a little bit less awful to work with. Very likely. Very likely this will, I think this will make this will let us avoid having to add register in here. And we can make this a break now instead, which is nice. And then we can get rid of like add register up top as well, I think. Yeah, and then here I would like to, I don't know, is there a better way to do this? I don't know. I'll think about that in a second. This kind of gets back to the original problem we were working on. And then outreg, I believe we just need to add this all once. It might be faster if I just like add all of them in a loop as well, maybe. Yeah, that actually might just be faster. Why didn't I do that to begin with? Interesting. Okay. I think I had to do vector anyway just to like have a fixed order for this, but yeah, I think I should probably just add these in their own loops instead of adding all the edges. So let's actually just do this. Yeah, let's throw that there. We can make that a break now. So this is outreg in outI. And this is outreg. Okay, so we add all the registers and now we add the edges. I think we do something similar here as well, but we do it on the fly because I think this is easier for whatever reason. I don't exactly remember why. Yeah, I don't particularly get it, but sure. 135 days, hats off to you, thank you. Okay. I think this is fine. I don't think we have to like extend this a lot beyond this. What we could do is we could do like a we could do add all registers and then it returns like a list of them, maybe? That could be interesting. I don't know, it's kind of just awful anyway, I feel like. Do you /n or endline? I go back and forth. I think if I'm like doing print debugging, I'm not sure why I use endline more. I think it's just because like sometimes I'm not like printing a string, but like if I'm like printing a bunch of string output, I think I just use new line characters. I know there's a concrete reason to not use endline, but I honestly don't really care enough about flushing. I probably should care, but I don't care enough. Okay. So what do I do here now? Okay, we need to figure out what edges to, or how we want to add edges here. Yeah, I think we should just modify add edge to do all the different instances. Do you declare class methods inside the class? Yes, inside the class. So like this. I've thought about doing it outside, but I don't know, it kind of just makes a mess, so. I like the existence of headers anyway, so I feel like it makes enough sense, at least. Okay, so I need to figure out add edge. I do not know what the best way to do this is. Reg to index. This comparison is stupid, to be honest. Cause Yeah, this is awful. We should do auto all reges equals that. I had this before, but I got rid of it because I was like condensing down. I definitely need, oh, I forgot to semicolon. There we go. Yeah, so I'd like to change this at least, because the new way we're doing this will be size agnostic anyway. So I think this is probably fine. So all reges here instead. Yeah, we can do it like that, I think. Maybe we should just like pull this out again. And I think that's kind of the pattern I want to keep here. Maybe I should also break this into like helpers as well, I think. Actually no, we want this inside, right? Because oh no, this okay, we've made a mess. Okay, I need to think about this more. So for each reg and all registers, okay, maybe we do need to do it in this awful way then, unfortunately. There's reason behind the madness, I believe. Okay, I think this is fine, honestly. I would like to avoid this, but I think I will just save that for a different day of refactoring. What I do need to fix is definitely this stuff, though. Yeah, so we want like all sizes of both registers, I think. It might actually be easier to clean that up later as well. I don't know. We'll give this a look at least. Since we're adding registers externally now, we don't need to call that in here anymore, which is very nice. But we do need to like make, we probably need to make more helpers if I had to guess. This should be the same as before, but I think that means it's going to crash and burn on this specifically. Wait, what? Wait, why did this work? That should not have worked for whatever reason. Okay, well, sure. I don't know anymore. I think it might have just been the strange thing that was happening before. I guess this resolves that then? I guess that's why, maybe? I don't know. Let's make this a continue again. Just to be 100% sure about this. Yeah, so all the changes we've made is just make it a list and make it prettier. Okay, so that works. That's really interesting. Okay, what about O1? Okay, that works. That's interesting. Okay. Real quick, let's go to... This actually makes very little sense to me. Because we still do need to account for the other sizes, at least. Yeah, that's really strange. Okay, we might have to try the thing. Let's do the thing here. Yeah. So let's just keep that. And then if we're making this like size agnostic anyway, let's just like throw this out of here. And let's just throw in another loop layer around it. And get all registers is a vector. Okay, that's nice. All regis. Yeah, let's make this like const auto. I haven't been using const a lot, so I want to like spend a bit of time at some point just refactoring to stick const everywhere. But my top priority is just getting code to generate, so that has to take a little bit of a backseat. Okay, let's keep it going. So we have all regis. What type is that? Oh, that is const. Okay, never mind. That's very helpful. Is this a ref then? No, that's not a ref. So we do want that to be a ref. Okay, so let's make this all regis. This just adds all the registers. Maybe we should make a helper that's like add all physical registers. Void add physical registers. Yeah, and that helps us clean it up a little bit, I think. Yeah, so we can throw that like here. Yeah, like that. And then we can just like take this slush and then put it in here. And I think this better modularizes anyway, so I think that's pretty good. I need to clean that up in a second, but let's just add add physical registers like that. Okay. Okay, so I guess we could leave this as this for now, I think. Yeah, I would like to make this prettier, but I think this is a good start. Yeah. So we get the 64-bit, we get the 32-bit, and then we add the registers, which, yeah, okay. Seems atomic enough. And then here we'd like to reg1. Yeah, we can do reg1, reg2 maybe. Let's change this to all regis. Make this reg2. Let's add a line break there. And instead of this, we can do reg1 equals reg2. And then we can just add one edge, and I think this will be less ugly. We can also do break here instead, actually. Just break out of the inner loop. Because that means we have a collision. So we can do... get register, reg1, get register, reg2. And that's pretty clean at least, I think, compared to most of the stuff I can do. Yeah, okay. We could also probably make like add all edges out in some way. We probably just need to make this. We need to like de-atomize this at least. Okay, so I guess we could do. We could probably make like get size registers or something like that, which is like really awkward. I don't really like it though. Yeah, I think we probably should do that though, or something like that. Maybe we could make like add all edges. Yeah, I kind of like that idea a little bit more, honestly. And then we want like LR register start first. What am I doing? This is awful. Thanos from Squid Game, yeah. The amount I get that one is... I guess I should not be surprised I get that one a lot, but by God, it's still funny. Somehow I missed the memo on Halloween and just completely forgot, but... Oh, I hit close. But funny story about that, actually. I think on Halloween, or like a couple days before, so I went out to Insomnia Cookie, as like a college student does, because like, they do their like free deals. So like we get there, and then like, someone outside, Deadass is like, oh my God, is that Thanos from Squid Game? And then like, he like takes a photo with me, and it's like the funniest thing. And I'm like dead awkward as always, if it wasn't obvious, cause I stream on the internet for fun. I do not enjoy human interaction, so like, it is the most awkward photo known to humankind, and it is peak. Okay, so add all edges. So add edge is like the atomic version, so... okay, so we want... How do we do this? Okay, let's do... I wish I kept that, like, that slash code I wrote last time. That would have been really helpful here. Pranking others as Thanos. That's crazy. Where are you from? I'm from, like, I'm from the US, at least. I don't particularly think you need to know more than that. Okay, so how do I do this again? So... first size... I guess we could make like a get size sort of thing, or... There's not really a great way to do this. I guess if we have that separated out, this is kind of the best way to do this. So we want first num, first get reg num. That should be big reg. Learning while reading chat's nightmare. That's fair, yeah. I think what works for me is like, I have like sort of lock-in modes. So like, I spend a lot of time just like locking in on code, and then after I like complete a decent portion, that's when I like get back to reading chat at least. So anyway, this is like kind of one of the rare instances where I'm trying to type while responding to someone in chat. So like, yeah, that's kind of how it is. Okay, so if this is virtual, then we just add. Oh wait. Okay, let's get first num and second num. And second get reg num. Yeah, let's do that. So that. And second num is our register num virtual. So if that is that, then we just add edge. Okay, so we add edge from first to second. Okay, so then this is gonna get a little bit messy. I don't really know if there's a better way to do this, but I hope there is. This is not fun. Okay. How do we do this? How do we do this without, like, going insane? 6 new people watching and making make compilers which had. Thank you. Sent list patch notes for. Ooh. Okay, I'll take a look at that. That seems like a lot of stuff. A lot of just like cleanup work. That seems very difficult to do, at least. Yeah. So all it's done for the day. That's fair, yeah. It seems quite difficult. Use Rust? I need to learn C++, so I'm doing it in C++, unfortunately. If I were to go again, though, I would probably use Rust. What the hell do I do here? I feel like I've gotten something wrong on this logic. I probably should just make like temporary lists or something. Yeah, I think I will do that. I guess we will do get all registers, and then we can do like a nested for loop, and it will be fine. I guess get sized. Yeah, we can do get sized or something like that. Void get sized registers. Register star reg. There we go. I'd like this up here. Thank you very much. Okay. I guess we could copy that. Don't talk about the socks. I mean, they come with the package, you know. Like, they're kind of just a feature, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. Let's just get rid of this boilerplate. I will implement that properly in a second. Let's get this done real quick. So reg num is lar register num virtual, then return reg. This should not be void. This should be std vector of lar register star. Yeah. I should have that. Thoughts on AI as a game dev? Thoughts on AI? I see as job taker. I think the thing is, like, you still need to you need to figure out what to do with generative AI. So, I think it's very hard to just replace literal human creativity, right? Like, it will write the code for you, but you still have to like direct it, and you still have to guide it in the direction you want it to be in, right? Like the invention of, what's a good example? Like the invention of the car, like it put like, I don't know what the term is for like people that drive horses around. It put like horses in air quotes out of business, but that doesn't necessarily mean that like the like quote unquote driving industry is gone, right? Like there will, like there still needs to be someone that like, I guess, that like drives some cars for for other people for convenience. So like, I think what the job looks like will change, but it is very hard to convince me that that like programming will be dead as a whole. We'll make a website, but we can't make it online as bugs and errors. Yeah, partially that, like partially the whole like error tolerance thing and like fault tolerance. Partially that like you literally need to tell it what to make, right? Like generating code has never been the hard part. Like we made like a whole movement about it. The whole like everyone can code thing, and like everyone's like, oh, programming is it should be like a basic literacy skill like reading. Like we made a whole movement out of it. Writing code was never the hard part. The hard part has always been like designing programs and making them fault tolerant and making them maintainable and making it so that like the next person, the poor schmuck that has to like take over your code in like 20, 30 years doesn't have a terrible time, right? Generative AI solves none of that is the big thing. So, bottom line, I think most programming jobs will be safe in some capacity. The job requirements will just have to change, I think. Okay, let me finish cranking this out. Most important thing that was done after that patch notes, a chat system. I see. Chat seems really hard, both with like moderation and also just like getting it working. Don't care in the full? Okay, sounds good. I imagine if it doesn't matter, then like, actually, can I just add it on the fly? Okay, I can't. Okay, I'll do that next time at least. I got promoted and you still haven't got a job? Yeah, it's a little bit harder when I have to wait a year to recruit for full time, but you know. Repo's open source? Okay, I might give it a look. We'll see. If I remember to, at least. Okay, I need to figure out what I am doing here. So we have get size registers. So if it's virtual, then it's just reg. Otherwise, we need to get all the different sizes. So we can kind of just do that. We can just like copy this down. Instead of reg, this should be reg num, and then this as well. And then we return. Let's just rename these to be a little bit more concise. Oh wait, no, this doesn't work. Let's just copy that. Let's paste that in there. Instead of double word, this should be quad word. So then we return reg 64, reg 32. Okay. We could probably make this prettier, but this will do for now, I think. Or I could just put these directly in here, actually. So we do like this, and then like that. Like that. I forgot a comma. Like that. There we go. That looks terrible, but I guess it's fine. we will keep it like that for now. Maybe I add a trailing comma, and that fixes the formatting? Yeah, okay. That's much better. Okay. I like quad word first, because I will probably use that more. Okay, now we need to fix add all edges. The alternative is putting it for the chat to give the host a kick button. Yeah, that seems reasonable enough. I guess like my big concern is just like global chat, but I imagine that doesn't exist in this instance. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we just want to get size registers for both of these, and then we just loop over them and call it a day, I think. So let's just do like auto first regis equals get sized registers for first, and then we can just copy that, replace this with second regis. Global only matters is the way you connect. I see, that makes sense. I guess I'm like thinking mostly in context of like mobile games. I don't know. That's kind of just like my largest exposure to video games at this point, which is really funny. But yeah, I guess once the server, like, I guess like that makes a lot of sense. So auto first reg and first regis. Actually, we can skip the braces here. Oh yeah. So we do that, and then if first, we're just gonna super nest this. So if these aren't the same. Oh wait, we need to compare size. Oh, okay, that's really annoying. Okay. Okay. So we want. Let's just turn them into like 64-bit. I think that will be easier. I guess we should just compare if they're the same to begin with, right? And then from there we can draw the interference, right? Or are we just assuming that they're not the same? I think we are just assuming they're... we're just assuming this is a valid operation. Yeah, let's just do that. And this will be future me's problem. And by future me, it will be now me's problem, actually. Okay, so we add all edges. Or at least we have that done. Okay. I know how to code, I don't got any, I don't know how to do the steps to do a project. I mean, I don't really have great advice for that because that's kind of the whole point of a project is you kind of just like feel your way through the dark and kind of just figure out what to do, right? Like, just like anecdotally as an example, in my freshman year, the summer after freshman year, I realized I did not know how to make anything. So I tried to make a website. So I was like, okay, how do I make a website? And then I looked this up. I'm like, okay, HTML and CSS. So I take like 2 weeks. I learn all of that. I'm like, cool. And then I'm like, okay, what is this React thing? Maybe I should make like a website in that. So then I like learn React, and then like I follow this like one of the 10-hour tutorials that exist. It's like, oh cool. And then like and then I like make a website and like it sucks, but eventually I write it. I'm like proud of it. Eventually I learn that it sucks, and I'm like, this is why it sucks. So then the next website, I do something similar, but I use what I learned to make it less bad. That's kind of just like the project building experience. And the point is that it's not really well defined, right? Like if you're truly making something that is useful to you in terms of like learning and in terms of something that's unique, there aren't well defined steps for it. And that's just kind of reality, unfortunately. In terms of like picking a project, just like anything that is useful to me. Like the website, I picked a personal website because I wanted one for a portfolio. I was also like really into Counter-Strike investing at the time, so I made like an investment tracker. Again, the website is like truly terrible. But it was at least something that got me to learn, at least as an example. Eventually, like a couple Discord servers I've been in needed like Discord bots. Or at least I thought they needed them. So I wrote like Discord bots for those. Those are like other very good examples. One of my friends, for instance, really likes really likes the water on campus and really likes to like compare water. So they made like a website where it's kind of like a blog or like a comparison table where they log like how the different water from different water fountains on campus tastes and like rates all of them. And it's like pretty cool and stuff. I always make bad code or hard to see and it works. I think that's fair, yeah. But also like the other thing is like if you want your code to be like maintainable, you should write it cleanly because large projects are a little bit awful to maintain if your code is messy. So like if we have, yeah, so if I count lines of code in this project, let's give it just like even just source. The lines of C++ and I guess we could just add CMake code in here. The lines of code total in this project, just from the source code alone, is 7,500. So if I have to like, if I catch some bug in some small part here, in some small part of some random file, I'm probably not going to remember what a lot of it does because there are literally like 80 files and I do not remember everything because I'm human. And it takes a lot of time to build up all of this and even more time to remember all of it. And I do not have that time. Yeah. Based on that, that means I will be like reading code with fresh eyes a lot. Reading code with fresh eyes almost as if it were the first time again a lot. And the way to make that at least a smooth process, in my opinion, is to make the code as clean as possible. And I know it sucks, but like, it's kind of just like, it's like writing neatly, you know? Like what's really the point of like writing something if you can't really read it? Okay, so we want to replace, we need to do checks here, I think. I don't really know what the best way to do checks here is. I just do it like here, comment here. Oh, I see. I used to be in the comments camp as well, and then I thought about it, and I was like, comments are tech debt, right? It's like, cause you go from having one thing you need to change to having two things you need to change. So if you have something that like, I guess there's like two main problems with comments. The first one is this like tech debt thing I'm talking about. So like, if you change what a function does, you also have to change the comment now. And that causes like a whole load of problems because like you have to remember to change the comment, and then if you don't, then like all of a sudden like your comment is wrong, and that makes even more of a mess. So you're like compounding your issues. And then second is that comments are kind of fluff if you overdo it. Like over here, if I like have a comment that is like operand manager, this seems very redundant because I've named my class as well. It's already like pretty obvious what this does, so I don't need the comment at least. And that's another benefit of having clean code. It just like maintains itself. It's like brushing your teeth. Like you go through the effort so you don't have to go through more effort later, pretty much. Because you'll have to deal with it at some point or another. It's just a question of like how you want to deal with it. How does the switch statement look like in C? I have an example, I think somewhere here. I think I have like a double switch. Oh no, actually this is pretty clean, I think, as an example of a switch. Looks like AI. I mean, that's because like AI does not write good code, so it has to write comments to explain to you what is happening. Because it turns out it's trained on people that do not know how to write good code. So, I don't know. It's all like preference at the end of the day. But my take is that good code does not have many comments. Okay. We have add all edges. We need to do like a reg comparison real quick. We should do that here. Bool interference, same reg. And then we can take this stuff. Okay. I need to define this real quick. Let's paste that. Oh wait, this is not what I want to copy. Let's take that. Same reg. Yeah, I think that will save me a bit of headache. Are you coding without mouse? It's okay. So I'm using NeoVim. The whole point is that it's terminal based. I don't need to use the mouse. So I use HJKL to move around, and I have like Control U, Control D to like go half pages. And it's just a nicer workflow. I feel like having to point around and like click on specific things is like really slow. There's also like other like motions. So like W goes to the next word, B goes back a word, E goes to the next end of a word. I forgot what the other direction for end of word is, but L? No, it's not. But yeah, it lets me do a bunch of, it lets me just like move faster, I feel like, just because I'm used to these motions now. Okay, let's figure this out real quick. Also, it's funny to spam HJKL, because it just happens sometimes. Okay, what do I want to do here? I guess I should steal this code. So let's go here, let's paste that. This is awful. Okay, let's just write this from scratch again. So first reg, first num. So we get reg num. Do that, and then imagine how much faster AutoHotkey would be if you were keep undo spam. Yeah, I know you can like change how fast it is in Mac at least. So I know people that just have it at like double speed and it's quite nice. Which university you go to? It's kind of public. If you know where to look, you know where to look. But the color of my hair is a pretty big giveaway, I think. It is in Illinois. I will say that much. Okay, so let's get this correct real quick. So let's just like LAR to sized. Let's just make these the 64-bit size. Let's do that, and let's give it quad word. Yeah, let's just copy that. This is awful. Yeah, we'll just do that. I think this is a little prettier. Not sure why your streams keep getting recommended to me. I wish you managed to get a compiler role. Thank you. I'm not sure why either, but I mean, selfishly speaking, I can't really complain. Is there a better way to fix burnout rather than just sitting and playing games? Unfortunately, it just means you have to take time. You just have to take time, and then like next time, make sure you pace yourself better. Like that's just kind of how things have to be. Because burnout means you didn't take enough time in the past, so you're forced to stop and take time now, is the way I see it. Turn first num. Okay, wait. If first num is okay, we need to let's actually undo these changes real quick. I like this. So if this is our, we want register num virtual. So that's a virtual register. And second I wish C++ had better pattern matching. Yeah, that's one of the big things I wish C++ had, to be honest. Actually, what if we could do XOR here instead of double AND, I think. So XOR is one or the other, so we can handle that case. And then we can clean up the rest in a different way, I think. Actually, no. This is stupid. We should do AND. Or actually, you know, here's what we could do. So if first num, so if these are not the same, then they have to be different registers. So then return false. So that's like the obvious case. So otherwise they're the same number. No, this is not gonna work. Ah, okay. We need to check virtual. We need to check virtual. So the cases we're worried about, both are virtual and have same name. We want to check, so I guess same cases. So this is one of them. Another one is both are physical and get sized for both are the same. Yeah, so this is really awkward because we can't just do a simple equality here. We both code, we all gamble on CS2. I don't gamble, at least. Well, depending on who you ask, I don't gamble. Okay, so I need to figure this out real quick. So if they're both virtual, then we want to return first. We want a static cast to LR virtual register star first get name. I guess let's actually just auto first virtual equals that, and we can do that with second as well. And then turn first virtual. So we want to get the name. We want to return that they are the same. And I know I'm doing like direct string comparison, which is really awful, but wait, if they're the same name, why don't I just check the putters? Why can't I do that? Oh, I know why. Because if I go to my register implementation, because we have this other annoying register type, which is like, do we have one? Wait, am I tripping? Constrained register. Yeah, we do. This thing is annoying. Because this is a virtual register. I guess we've static casted them both. No, they'd be different objects. That's the problem. So we can't do it like that. So we have to just like compare names. This is a fault of mine, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Why not use multi-line comments? Because they don't end up like, because they look ugly, I guess. Like if I do like what was it, like /star? And then if I like do new lines, like they don't end on the same line, and like it's really annoying. I just think the single line comments are cleaner. Anyway, so let's do so let's copy that, and we should make these not cases. This thing? No, I think that's just a Java thing. Okay, if these are not virtual, we should just check the regnoms. So first, 64. So this should be first, or we wanna steal this from up here. Instead of that, I guess we don't need to get register, so we can just get rid of that. Instead of regnom, we want first num. And we can do that again. And you can return first 64. This is just in simple equality. And then otherwise return false. What's up, Skills? Good to see you. Hopefully your break is going well. Why is your name Golfund? When I was in first grade, I thought I was really good at golf. And then I accidentally typoed a D on the end in like 7th grade. So I guess that's how that happened. If Java docs existed or C++, it'd be better than any comment. I guess probably. I think the C++ reference is generally pretty fine though. Arc Raiders, ooh. I don't know. I personally haven't understood the appeal of the game, but I know of a lot of people that enjoy it a lot. So I think that's pretty reasonable. Okay, the more I look at this code, the more I feel like I made the right decision making these helpers, because now this logic is a lot less awful to write. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this. Yeah, okay. So now I think this is not ugly, so that's fine. So we want to compare same reg, I think. Genreg and then prev genreg. Yeah, so we want to just skip if they are the same. And then we add the edge, and then we need to do the same thing here. Yeah, like that. I guess maybe we could change the order. Let's just change the order to be consistent. Fun but steep learning curve. That makes sense, yeah. It feels very Tarkov-like, which I guess makes sense. Okay, this should be correct, I think, now. Just, if they are the same reg, we skip it. Otherwise, we add an edge. Okay. Hopefully this builds properly. I really hope nothing is wrong here. I would like to do laundry. Okay, a lot of stuff fails, which is to be expected, because we made changes last time. Let's see how this runs. Where can I find your NeoVim config? It should be in my GitHub. If you check like what the hell? Why does nothing interfere with it? Okay, I messed something up somewhere here, but I will figure that out in a second. My new Vim config, in my GitHub profile, which should be in the description, it should be pinned as like dot files. So, oh, I see. We want add all edges instead of add edge. So let's throw this here. Like that. There we go. I believe that is. Okay, there's another place we need to fix it actually. I guess we don't even use add edge, so. Okay, let's just fix that. Let's just rebuild it. Haven't been coding much over break. That's fair. I kind of ended up doing the same for, well, reasons that you probably already know. Coding for 1 day and already got all the code down from tutorials in 1 day. And you can make a game. I mean, if you just followed a tutorial, I don't think that means you can make a game. If you can like work from scratch, come up with like a game idea, and then like implement that without having like without following a tutorial, just like maybe looking up like how to do some things here and there, but not necessarily going like step for step. I think that will be. I think that's a much better place to be in. Where you're at is a pretty good start, but I don't really think that's a good endpoint at least. Learn from tutorials how to code. I'm skeptical that you did all of that in 1 day, but if that is the case, then like sure, I think that's fair. Like, cool, I guess. I don't know. It's hard for me to really evaluate that in any meaningful sense. Okay. Okay, this interference looks more correct at a glance. Let's give it a different test, because this O1 is not doing me favors. Okay. This should have more interferences, I feel like. Something seems off here. All these links look correct. Okay. These are missing things. If these have RSP, they should also have ESP, I think is the small one. Yeah. So we did add all edges, right? Yeah. Okay, so we get size registers. Where does this come from again? Oh, that's further down? Okay, I need to figure out how this is sorted. Okay, add physical registers I think should be further down to be clean. Jeez, this is a mess. I think this is in a get size registers. What does this require? We don't really add anything, so I think we could put this up here like that. I think that's the most reasonable way to sort. Or maybe we could swap these and I think that's fine. Add all edges. I think this comes after physical. I think that's probably the least awful way to sort it. Let's bundle it like that, I think. These are like the quote-unquote more public-facing ones. Um, what language are you coding in? I'm using C++ here. I'm not sure who you're asking, but presumably it was either me or Trix. Yeah, I'm not like trying to dog on you or anything. Like it is still pretty cool to learn. It's still cool having like made something, and like that feeling is very hard to beat. But like I feel like timeline wise, at least from what you've told me, it feels improbable to have been much beyond just like a tutorial. Okay, we have registers. How do we implement some of these? Same reg should be higher, I feel like. Or at least sequentially here. Add physical register. What does this require? I think this makes the most sense. At least. So we'll have to... I'll have to reorder some of this. Okay, so same... Let's just delete... Let's take that. Let's put it here. Okay, next one is... Add all edges should be later. And then it's add physical, then get sized. Okay. So let's just put this here. I think that's the correct ordering. Okay. What was I doing? We were gonna add more interferences here. Something was wrong. What's good, Sooks? Make a round hazards game? Yeah, go for it. Are you supporting just ints right now? For now it's just ints, yeah. It is kind of just a mess, but I don't really know what else I can do about it, unfortunately. Types are just a little bit too annoying to deal with in the front end for now, so. Yeah, but I still need to account for like 32-bit versus 64-bit just for like calling convention related reasons. So it's kind of the worst of all worlds, but I mean, oh well. What is wrong here again? So presumably it's add all edges, I think, is where something has gone wrong. I actually need this further up in physical registers, I think. I should probably move this downwards, I think, just for like abstraction reasons, I think, or at least like proper code sequencing reasons. Yeah, let's put this there. Like that. There we go. I like that. I like the way that looks. What's been the hardest part of the project so far? I feel like just fighting with the entire backend here. This has all been kind of hell for me, to be honest. Yeah, it's all been very hard to work with. What am I doing? Okay. Add physical. I think that was fine. That definitely looked fine. I think add all edges was where the problem was coming. So that comes from get sized. So if it's virtual, it's fine. Otherwise, that should be fine. I'm not sure why it's just RSP here. Yeah, that seems strange to me. Okay. I guess if it interferes with RSP, it will interfere with the other ones, so I think that's like fine inherently, but I would like an explicit edge at least. I will let y'all in chat pick a game idea because I'm not quite. I don't really have an opinion, to be honest. I think it's just whatever you find enjoyable at the end of the day. Because it's hard to please other people, but the one person you can have control over is yourself. So that's my reasoning. Farming, that's the real answer. Okay, I'm not sure why this is going wrong. Am I like making a silly mistake somewhere in the interference? Okay, let's set a debug symbol there. We're using while, I think. O0, I think, as well. Okay, so we wanna wait, what? Okay. Okay, that's not helpful. That's very not helpful. Where am I? We definitely have first. We have first and second regs, right? Does exist, right? Let's just set a breakpoint here, maybe? Let's just send it. Okay, this is not enjoyable to debug. Okay. Okay. Going for 10 minutes? Okay, well, let's see you around. Second time I see your stream and recommendations. How are you? I'm doing well. Hopefully you're doing well as well, Vivi. Nan to Tetris. Ooh. Okay. I'm not sure why this is not doing what I want it to. We should have edges to RSP and ESP, I think, unless ESP doesn't exist because I messed up somewhere. Yeah, so ESP does exist. So where is ESP? ESP, here it is. Yeah, it just doesn't have any interferences. That's interesting. So that means add all edges is doing something wrong. Right, .c files? What do you mean? None of these are .c files. This is a C++ file, this is a header file. Okay. Oh, I'm not sure. I definitely don't use auto in C files though. It could just be the way the screen was split, which, fair enough. Why is this not doing what I want it to? This actually doesn't make sense. So add all edges. Java before the semester. Ooh, Yeah, I think that's a good idea. At least getting familiar with it. Maybe get sized is wrong? That should be correct though. Because we're definitely using this. Which is why the other interference is fine. This stuff is fine. Yeah, like this interferes with everything else. So if it's virtual, then we just return reg, which is fine. And then if it's not virtual, then we return the two registers of the sizes. Okay, let's just stood cout. Let's just do some printing. I'm very confused why this is not working. Mainly architecture I'm worried about. That's fair, yeah. It seems difficult. It should be arrow. Maybe I should have done this in add edge instead. I will do that instead. Oh, this makes no difference actually. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Also, I like how today I was supposed to do a short stream and it has in fact been 2 hours. So, whoops. Evidently that was not the intent, but it happens. What's the language you're making? I'm writing a compiler for, that translates from x86, or from C down to x86 64. Okay, why is this only doing RSP? Yeah, I guess people do like the longer streams, which I guess that's fair enough. Why is this not working though? Yeah, I mean, like, it is something I will just have to balance, which is life, but I'll make it work. Historically, I've been pretty capable of making it work, so I think I should be fine. Oh wait, is my 2 sized wrong actually? It just occurred to me. Something seems strange about that. Or maybe the same reg. Wait. This is fine. Yeah, we continue if it's the same register. Oh, so we add all the new registers. Just got an email. Okay. So go through this again. If it's not the same register, we add all edges between them, because they're live at the same time. And then we also add all edges between it and that, the out reg. That's really strange. This doesn't make sense. Unless I actually did do unless I actually did do the thing wrong in operand. No, this is correct. That's really strange. What the hell? I guess it's just not returning in the thing, which doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why that's happening. These are getting the correct 2 size, right? No, this doesn't make sense. It should be in here. So 2 string or LIR 2 string of that. And then we can do double word. Yeah, this does not make much sense to me. I'm not really sure why. This is just not working. Oh, wait, we're just not calling it? Yo, wait. Wait, what? Wait. Wait, is this like a legacy thing that I just completely forgot about? Wait a second. RSP. This is not helpful. These are all the tests. Okay, we're not gonna search like that. Instead, I think we hard code a RSP register somewhere. Or like we literally make a register just named RSP. Which is really stupid. But it's not here. RSP? No. RSP? No. Okay. How old are you and when did you start coding? I technically started coding like when I was really little, but functionally speaking, I think I started roughly like 3 or 4 years ago. I am currently old enough to drink. I will not elaborate beyond that. What is wrong with RSP here? This is 00. Maybe my address search is wrong? I don't know. This is an issue for next time to worry about, I think. I will just leave it for next time. Fix RSP interference thing. Yeah, lines that even I don't understand. That's fair. I mean, yeah, I am just making a mess, so it kind of is what it is. Let's actually clean that up real quick. Let's get rid of the print statements. And then the rest of this is fine, because that's like actual print stuff. Is this NeoVim or LazyVim? I'm using NeoVim. My config should be pinned in my GitHub profile. Lots of interference, refactoring, fixed memory, or fixed illegal access plus modularized. Okay. Yeah, this looks a lot more built out than last time, which makes me happy. Okay. But yeah, I think I will leave it at that. Next time I will fix that. I'll fix that, and then hopefully I will have time to do group by function, and then we will consider ourselves done for interference, at least in the short term. Thank you all so much for showing up today. If you haven't already, make sure you like the stream and sub to the channel. While you're down there, make sure to check out the description. My Discord is there. It's the best place to get pinged when I go live, and chat with the general community. Everyone's really chill. Also there is my GitHub and my LinkedIn. Feel free to add me on those. My dot files are also on my GitHub. And also, if you want to support me financially, my GitHub sponsors is there. Feel free to donate if that's something that you wish to do. I'm gonna go do laundry now and chill, and probably eat. Can you enable live closed captions? I'll look into it. I probably won't though. Unfortunately, it's just something I'm not particularly comfortable with accuracy wise. It's not really something that I am particularly interested in. But yeah, that's about it. Take care, y'all. Take it easy. Have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are.